Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. There's a new Black Ops 7 trailer out, which we're going to watch in full in just a second, but also there's this weird hidden date thing that might be hinting towards the next trailer announcement date, or it might be an ARG of sorts. So let's watch the trailer in full now, and then we'll start breaking the new information down.
Welcome to the Guild. We have been expecting you. Please, follow me. You already know us as a global tech leader. Our software, our systems, combined with our skilled team, is designed to save lives. Your years of service have shown you the importance of our work. Here, you'll witness the global scope of that mission in action. Let me introduce you to our esteemed visionary.
For too long, we have been bound by outdated systems, accepting limitations instead of redefining them. The Guild is safeguarding tomorrow, now. We are pioneering the future of protection worldwide. Our advancements are designed to elevate everyday life, reshaping the future of technology on a global scale. I'm Emma Kagan, CEO of the Guild.
Fear is a powerful thing. David Mason. Menendez.
So lots for us to break down in the new trailer, but first let's talk about some of the official announcements that have already been posted. We'll start with the Black Ops 7 website. As you can see here, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, embrace the madness. The year is 2035, and the world is on the brink of chaos, ravaged by violent conflict and psychological warfare following the events of the fan-favorite titles Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 6. Wielding cutting-edge technology, the Black Ops team, led by David Mason, must fight back against a manipulative enemy who weaponizes fear above all else. So we've got this scarecrow-like enemy who's weaponizing fear. Whether that's going to be Menendez or someone else, I guess somewhat remains to be seen, because we know that COD likes to kill characters, but then COD likes to mysteriously make those characters have survived things even when they've said that they've died in the past. So we'll see on that front. But if we go down here, we get a bit of other information, which says, squad up with friends or play solo in a thrilling and innovative co-op campaign. Now, the last time we saw a co-op campaign in a Black Ops game was, I think, Black Ops 3, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a thing in older games like Call of Duty World at War, but the idea of returning to it now is interesting because it's been a little bit of a while. And it's also exciting because after Black Ops 3, we had Black Ops 4, and they were going to be doing a PvPvE campaign thing there, but it got cancelled. It was Jason Blundell's big idea, and then they had to scrap the whole thing and scrap the campaign entirely because the campaign idea was such a big flop internally. And so COD campaigns have kind of been, I think, playing it a little safer in the last couple of years, but this really doesn't look like it's playing it safe by any means. It looks like they're really taking a big swing here, which is exciting. They then say, harness near future weaponry in a signature multiplayer experience packed with brand new maps and descend into the next twisted chapter of round-based zombies in the heart of the dark ether. So obviously we're gonna have to dig into the round-based zombies stuff, in the heart of the dark ether stuff, like all of that, and that's gonna be a separate video on my channel. So those of you that like following my zombies specific content, that will all be available to you. But those of you that just want the general Black Ops 7 breakdown, that's what we're gonna continue with now, including some analysis of this hidden date. But before we get there is a couple of other bits and pieces of official info from Twitter that we need to go through. So when we take a look at the official Treyarch Twitter, they confirm that it is a co-op campaign with Raven Software at the helm. So Raven will be taking some of the load off Treyarch, and that will mean that Treyarch will, hopefully at least, be able to prioritize their efforts on the zombies mode and also other parts of things like the multiplayer and stuff like that. And it's a weird one because Treyarch's also been developing Black Ops 6 this year, right? Like they have a live service game out now, and they're somehow also making an entire new Call of Duty back to back with their current Call of Duty. That is unprecedented. I feel for the devs. They're probably absolutely dying right now with the amount of work that they have on their plates. But that's not all. We also have some announcements about the game availability. So it's going to be available on PS5 and 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One, Battle.net, Xbox PC app, and Game Pass. It's also an Xbox Play Anywhere title, so one purchase lets you play on both Xbox console and the Xbox PC app, and it's also going to be available on the new Xbox ROG Ally handheld that was revealed and showcased a little bit during the Xbox showcase today, where they announced the COD trailer. And then on top of that, we've got this new Chimera. So obviously we've seen Black Ops focus on this Cerberus logo and the three-headed beast before, whereas now we've got a Chimera. I don't think the Chimera itself is super relevant in the Black Ops kind of canon and lore that I know of, at least. Like, Chimera is a faction in the Modern Warfare side of things, run by Nikolai, but I don't think Chimera is a current kind of anchor of the iconography of Black Ops. So this is sort of a nice new step. And then we also have confirmation of some casting from Variety. So as you can see here, Milo Ventimiglia will play David Mason, as we saw in the trailer, but then Kiernan Shipka will play Emma Kargan, and Michael Rooker will reprise his role as Mike Harper. And Michael Rooker also, for Zombies fans, will be a familiar face from Call of the Dead. So awesome to see him reappearing in Call of Duty. That's going to be a nice reprise and a nice return. So that's a bunch of information about the game, but I mentioned this weirdness with the key art, right? If we open this in a new tab, this is a nice 4K version. If we zoom in here, you can see on the right hand side we've got some dates. Now, Call of Duty loves to hide random little overlays and things like that in their marketing. They've done it basically every single year. You've got some stuff down here I'm pretty sure that I've seen about Kargan. I think I saw her sort of call sign in there somewhere. Maybe that was a different piece of the promotional art. Okay, so it's in this version of it, it's covered up in the other one, but you can see Kargan being mentioned there. Like, they do this stuff all the time. But crucially, on the right-hand side of this one, we have this date 06/20/35. So we know that the game takes place in 2035, but the 06/20 is interesting because we're in June right now. And so the fact that this is present on the key art makes you think, does that mean that they're going to do something on the 20th of June this month? Like, are they kind of planning a trailer reveal or something on that day? That's one possibility, but there's also some in-universe possibilities as well that we'll talk about shortly. So let's talk about the events possibilities first. On the 20th of June, so that 6/20 date, the World Series of Warzone is doing its next event. The next World Series of Warzone event starts on that date and it runs through the 22nd. So there's always a possibility that the next Call of Duty Black Ops 7, oh my god, that feels weird to say, teaser or trailer or announcement or whatever would be happening during the World Series of Warzone. But then if they were to be slightly later than that, or they were going to do like a week-long event or a week-long reveal thing or something, it might link to the CDL. So the Call of Duty League is having its Champs Finals on the 26th of June. That's when that's all taking place. Championship weekend, June 26th through 29th. So we might get a little bit of a tease at the World Series of Warzone, and then we might get a bigger reveal even at the COD Champs event, potentially, if they want to sort of juice their esports side of things. So that's a possibility. But like I mentioned, there's also some in-universe, in-lore possibilities as well. So if we take a look at Judgment Day, this is an event that took place in the Black Ops 2 campaign, and we're going to scroll down here to the crucial sort of section, which is the endings section. So up until this point, we've understood Judgment Day to have a canon ending, and Call of Duty have said many times Mason dies in that ending. And so if we read through this here, which it says is considered the canon ending, Mason dies, Menendez dies, so Section shoots Menendez in the head. Section and Woods are seen next to Mason's grave for a moment to remember him. However, Menendez's assassination is triggered with a video of Menendez commanding Cordis DA that it is time to revolt. This leads to protests all across the US and the burning of the White House. So we've thought that this is where that story kind of ended for a long time now, but it seems like we're either getting some kind of reversion of that or some kind of, spoiler alert, they didn't actually die through some kind of crazy hijinks that you're now going to understand from this new story. Like, Call of Duty loves doing that. They hate killing characters and leaving them dead. They love reviving people and finding weird ways for them to just constantly survive everything. And this, Judgment Day, the reason I bring this up is that this took place on the 19th of June, 2025. So that is just a few weeks away in real life. That's the real life 2025 date. And it's also, as it happens, June 19th, if we go to Cordis Die here, or Cordis DA, or whatever you want to call them, it's a faction that officially became active on June 22nd. But as we saw just a moment ago, June 19th is the earliest date shown linked to them. It was the day they staged simultaneous protests in Tehran and Pyongyang. So June is a very important date for Black Ops history. And so for them to be teasing another June date here that also lines up with Call of Duty events, like actual Call of Duty events, is a little bit too good to be true. So that may well be when we're getting our full reveal that they said would be coming later in the summer. And that's just the sort of publicly posted information. That's not even us breaking down the trailer at all. So if we do a very quick scrub through this just to start with here, and then I'll do more in-depth breakdowns over the next days and weeks on my channel, so make sure you're subscribed for those. We see this robot here, which obviously looks very similar to the sorts of stuff that we saw in Black Ops 3. Those of you that have played the Black Ops 3 campaign stuff will really recognize this stuff and be familiar with it. It's also really reminiscent of a lot of the Black Ops 3 marketing that we had in advance, like the way that they're sort of constructing all of this imagery. So that's what we're sort of seeing there. We see Milo Ventimiglia, we see the Monarch Butterfly, there's Emma Kargan. And then this, when I first saw it, I really thought that this was a Remedy game. Like, I just could not conceive of a world where we were seeing imagery like this in Call of Duty. Like, it's just unreal, absolutely crazy. But again, the whole theme of the game, it seems, is that we're playing with this enemy that really leans into fear, right? So we're going to be getting a lot of dream sequency type stuff in kind of classic Black Ops-y fashion, and that stuff is going to really show us our worst nightmares, potentially, including, apparently, the world being upside down. Now, with this scene coming out of the shipping container, I'm not 100% if this has any special relevance to the kind of Black Ops timeline, but be really curious to hear you guys sound off on that in the comment section down below. It's not a shipment reference, right? It's just not. It's something else there. There's definitely some kind of meaning that we can derive from this. Apollo in my chat says Mason finding Woods in early BO2. Maybe that's the sort of goal there. And then we've got, obviously, the classic interrogation station. We've got all the screens going crazy there. So he's sort of remembering that stuff from him and his father's past. And then, yeah, I mean, this is unreal. I actually was so blown away by this trailer. So if you guys want to watch my full reaction to the trailer and a little bit more discussion about it, I've got that linked on the screen right now for you to click through to. But otherwise, I'm going to start working on my zombies deep dive, and that will also be linked on screen as well once it's up. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.